One day, as Kiro Arid explored the depths just off the coast of Japan's Yonaguni Island, he couldn't have foreseen the extraordinary discovery that awaited him. At the time, he was simply a scuba instructor in search of new underwater sites to offer his clients. Little did he know that he would stumble upon a perplexing enigma that would capture the world's imagination. The question that emerged was whether he had inadvertently uncovered Japan's equivalent of the legendary lost city of Atlantis. Deep-sea divers from around the world are now flocking to explore what AR's discovery stumbled upon back in 1987. While working as the director of the Yonaguni-cho Tourism Association, Arat was determined to identify new underwater attractions to sustain the local economy, heavily reliant on tourism. He began charting the underwater terrain systematically, and it was when he reached the eastern edge of the island that he made his awe-inspiring discovery. In his own words, what Arat found took his breath away. An underwater cliff face adorned with immense geometric terraces, featuring broad, flat horizontal surfaces and sheer, vertical stone risers. Remarkably, he couldn't help but think that this formation appeared man-made. Some theorists likened it to an enormous pyramid, possibly serving as a grandstand for the equivalent of Japan's Poseidon, where deities might have gathered to witness magnificent underwater spectacles. Strangely, this claim isn't as far-fetched as it may seem. Many have suggested that the formation might be the submerged remains of Mu, a mythical ancient Pacific civilization. The site earned the moniker Yonaguni Monument and piqued the interest of marine geologist Dr. Masaki Kimura, who hails from the University of Ryukyu's Department of Physics and Earth Sciences in Okinawa. Dr. Kimura was captivated by the idea of ancient civilizations being swallowed by the sea, and even wrote a book about Lemuria, one of these purported Atlantis-like cities. Dr. Kimura has been diving at the site and its surroundings for years, and remains steadfast in his belief that the monument is part of an ancient city's remnants. Inspired by the tales of Arat and Dr. Kimura, Deborah Dixon Smith took the plunge to see the Yonaguni Monument for herself. She recounted her underwater journey, describing a tight tunnel that opened into a vast, flat expanse. She marveled at two enormous columns with squared-off edges and walls reminiscent of a stage. The steps leading up to the stage left a lasting impression, as they were perfectly uniform in size and shape, with sharp 90-degree angles. The Yonaguni Monument offers more than just steps and a stage. It also boasts a triangular, north-facing cove, with a slab that resembles an altar placed strategically at the top. To some, this configuration suggests a place for ancient rituals. Dixon Smith even spotted a symmetrical structure that bore a resemblance to a colossal turtle, potentially a representation of a culturally significant creature in the ancient civilization's worship. Addressing the turtle's significance, Dr. Kimura stated that he was unsure of any direct connection to a local fable called Yoshima Taro. According to the legend, a kind fisherman freed a young turtle from tormentors and, in return, was granted a magical journey through a marine kingdom on the back of a giant turtle. Nevertheless, the mystery of the Yonaguni Monument's origins endures. Dr. Kimura is convinced that the monument's sheer size and complexity argue against it being a natural formation. He cited evidence of carved faces, basic figures, and animal likenesses sculpted from rock, which align with his theory of it being a submerged ancient city. Dr. Kimura even believes these carvings exhibit an Asian origin, reinforcing the idea that it may be a remnant of a culture from the Asian continent. Dr. Kimura's confidence extends to his claim of discovering not only the Yonaguni Monument, but also 5 temples, a deteriorating castle, a stadium, and a triumphal arch, all interconnected by a system of roads and waterways. Massive walls protect this entire complex. While there's no smoking gun to conclusively prove his theory, Dr. Kimura remains steadfast, with stalactite studies suggesting the city is approximately 5,000 years old. Unfortunately, the ocean's depths have not preserved pottery or wood, leaving some questions about this remarkable underwater enigma unanswered. However, We have a keen interest in conducting further research on a particular relief found at the site, which is believed to be painted and resembles a cow. Our primary objective is to determine the composition of the paint used for this depiction. Additionally, we intend to carry out subsurface research on the extensive city complex, covering an area of approximately 300 meters by 150 meters, equivalent to approximately 9 football fields arranged side by side in an oblong formation. Navigating this vast expanse presents a significant challenge, but it is a necessary endeavor. Seismology professor Dr. Tori undertook the ambitious task of exploring this expansive site to evaluate the validity of Dr. Kimura's theories. His conclusions supported Dr. Kimura's claims, confirming that the monumental relics were not a result of natural seismic activity. However, Dr. Shach, a dissenting voice, argued that there was a logical explanation for all the features observed. Dr. Shach contended that, upon his first dive at the site, he was convinced it was not artificial. He disputed the idea that the holes in the monument, which Dr. Kimura proposed were evidence of support posts used during construction, were more likely caused by underwater eddies, whirlpools that erode stone over time due to repetitive swirling forces. Dr. Shach also challenged the assertion that the perfectly straight stone steps were man-made, arguing that they might not be as perfect as they appeared in photographs. Dr. Shach was equally skeptical of the supposed carvings of faces and rock formations resembling animals, dismissing them as natural scratches on the rock. However, Dr. Kimura remained unwavering in his beliefs and stressed the importance of accumulating more evidence to definitively determine the origins of these structures. Surprisingly, in a 1999 article published before the National Geographic piece, Dr. Shach acknowledged common ground with Dr. Kimura. He mentioned that they had met and discussed their research several times. Dr. Shach even suggested that the Yonaguni monument might be a natural structure enhanced and modified by ancient humans, potentially serving as a quarry for blocks used in constructing other structures. In conclusion, while the debate between Dr. Kimura and Dr. Shach continues, both agree on the historical significance of the Yonaguni monument. They believe it deserves careful consideration and respect. Unfortunately, the local government and the Japanese Agency for Cultural Affairs have yet to officially declare it a cultural site, partly due to political considerations related to its proximity to Taiwan and China. Until a definitive answer about its origins emerges, the Yonaguni monument will remain a popular tourist destination, as it has been for over 4 decades, and a captivating mystery awaiting resolution in the crystal clear waters with vibrant marine life. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.